improving your website conversions, getting more from the traffic that you've already got. And I'll dive into why it's important and the 5 keys of website conversions, as well as resources to help you take action. We'll just give it until 10:02 and then we'll jump in. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, so I'm just going to switch over to my other screen and we will jump straight in. So this is all about conversion optimization. Now, this is not through the lens of someone who is a digital marketing agency owner who is all across the data analytics and is A/B testing within an nth of their life. So this is about practical advice for businesses, marketing professionals that want to get more from the traffic that they've already got. They want to get a better ROI from all of their marketing channels that are going to their website. So this just setting the tone for what's to come. This is practical. This isn't a marketing degree or a CRO degree. These are things that you can action in the next 7 days. Awesome. So focus. None of this matters if you don't take action and you don't really soak it in. So rather than this be a podcast that kind of happens in the background, even if you're watching the replay, put your phone on silent, turn off your notifications, focus so you can actually make the most of this content and turn it into results for your business. Please. Cool. So your website, all websites have untapped potential. There's traffic, there's existing customers. There are people who are actively searching for what you offer. They've landed on your website. They're not all converting. Why is that? Why aren't they taking action? The ones that are most likely to convert, are you converting those? That's typically around 5% that are solution aware, problem aware, and ready to buy. Are you converting that high? Now, the average conversion rate on a website is around 2%. Do you even know what your conversion rate is? That's why your website has untapped potential that you can take advantage of. So most businesses think they need more traffic. They want to be able to get found, get their brand out there. We hear a lot, and it may be something that you've wanted to do. I know that's something, even as a marketing professional, I've thought, oh, we just really need to get the name SGD out there a bit more. But that's not really what I want. I think that is the means to an end. I think by getting our name out there, that's going to increase conversions. When really what we could focus on is who's already looking at us and how can we get those people to try, buy, and become loyal clients. So we don't need more traffic. What we really need is more conversions from the traffic that we've already got. So you can get more from your existing website traffic by fixing the leaks. It's like, instead of, you've got a leaky bucket and it's got holes and you're pouring more water in, it's just going to leak out faster. So if you're spending money on ads, if you're investing in SEO, social media campaigns, and traffic is going to your website, investing in conversion rate optimization will improve all of the conversions, all of the quality of the traffic that goes to your site. So you're getting better ROI across all of those channels. Case study. So one of our clients, CyberCX, they had a landing page that was converting at around 4%, which is not bad, but you always want to have some level of baseline. It's good to know industry averages, but the way to improve is just to know your baseline and work from there. So it was converting at around 4%. With on-page optimization we did, conversion optimization, it jumped up to 15%. Higher than that, but I wanted to be a little conservative with the estimate here. That meant more leads and more sales opportunities from the existing traffic that they already have. We didn't need to invest any more in traffic. We did as well, because that amplified things, but they were able to get more from their marketing channels, better ROI from all channels by investing in their conversion optimization. So for those who don't know me, I'm Simon Gelly. I'm the CEO and Head of Growth at SGD. I've worked with, well, as a team at SGD, worked with RSL Victoria, Invato, Quilla, Agency Maverick, Systemology, CyberCX, as I just mentioned before. Consulted on many digital marketing campaigns, launched many websites, worked on lots of landing pages, and have done a ton around conversion optimization for both service-based and direct-to-customer e-commerce stores. Cool. As a team, we've been in business for over 15 years. We have 22 team members. We've launched over 300 websites, and each one of those having lots of landing pages. So we have done tons of optimization across landing pages. We know what works across a lot of industries. So there is a myth I kind of alluded to before. More traffic equals more sales. When again, more traffic can just mean you're pouring more into a leaky bucket, and that doesn't help with getting more conversions. So if you're just spending money on ads and you're not getting your offer right, your messaging right, you're not tweaking that landing page, like where does that traffic actually go? That's where the real money is. You can make small tweaks to that without spending more money on ads, and it can dramatically improve the results that you're getting. And then using ads to amplify your results. So more traffic without conversion optimization, unfortunately, equals wasted money. But the real solution is to optimize the traffic that you've already got, your existing pages. Another case study, one of our clients, Policy, they had a call with them quite recently. They had just worked with another agency to redo their website. It was not helping them at all. Unfortunately, it was a poor delivery by the other agency. Their traffic started declining. They had the lowest lead volume in years. We did some work with them. We worked with them on our SEO quick start service, optimized their homepage and key service pages. And this is a quote from the client. They went from 1 to 2 leads per month to 3 to 5 leads per day, which is a ridiculous claim. So if it came from us, I don't think anyone would believe it, but that's directly from our client. So really fantastic turnaround. Really proud of our team and what we've been able to do to partner with Policy on that. And this is just the beginning. We're working across multiple products and services that they offer to improve their results even further. Okay, so there are some key principles when it comes to conversion optimization. So I'm going to be going through this as a bit of an agenda today. I'll be part screen sharing slides. I don't want to do death by PowerPoint. I just want to start that to make a point. And then we're going to go into each one of these with examples and action items so you can make the most of this. So we'll dive straight in. But before we get into these 5 key principles here, I just want to look at the overall anatomy of a landing page. Like what does an ideal website landing page look like? And we have our existing templates for best practices that we use, we share with our clients. When we may take on a new client, we compare their existing pages against our best practices so that we can assess what's going to get results and just make sure we're covering the basics before we get into additional optimization. There are so many changes that you could potentially make to your copy, to your images, to your video, to the way that the page is structured. But just starting with best practices is the best bang for buck when you're getting started with conversion optimization. So if you're not doing the best practices, stop everything and start doing that. All right, I'm going to jump into an example here. So this will be given to everyone that's registered, and probably even if you haven't registered, we're going to be sharing this because it's a great resource. This is the anatomy of a high converting landing page. So starting here, we've got the structure. Now this is the design of our SGD website, but imagine your own business design here, but trying to keep it really, really simple and content free with just some prompts to be able to show you what best practices are. So the title headline here. So you want to use problem solution formula. So making it attention grabbing to the target audience that is looking at the page. If you're ever in doubt, and I cover this more on our workshop that we did around website messaging. If you're ever in doubt with your headlines, be clear before you're clever. So if your page is about web design in Melbourne, you would say website design in Melbourne. That's exactly what it is. That is very, very clear. Now you can amplify that a bit further by saying conversion focused websites that grow your business. Now that is speaking to a desired end result for our target market. So just those 2 headlines will work wonders, and that is a huge bang for buck when it comes to conversion optimization, is getting your headline clear, and then the next level would be compelling. Cool. So then below the headline, this is subheadline, it's supporting text. You want to expand on this a bit further. So supporting the headline, if it was website design Melbourne, it would be something along the lines of, we design conversion-driven websites that help to grow businesses. And just leave it at that. That's speaking to the desired end result. It's intriguing and it's not going over the top. It doesn't talk about our history. It doesn't talk about we've been established since 2009 and we've got a team around the world. It doesn't matter to our target audience. Like, what matters to them is getting a particular result and not consuming too many calories with their brain power trying to figure out what this business does. The next thing, and this is where a lot of businesses fail as well, is they don't put the call to action somewhere very, very easy to get to. So in this design here, even if you're squinting, you can very easily see the calls to action. You can see the next steps to take. This one literally says call to action, which is not a great button, but that's okay. Get a quote would be something relevant here. Buy now. Learn more is quite soft because there's no real conversion action. It's just look at some stuff kind of thing. But action-oriented copy is what you want here. Buy now, book a call, get a quote. Learn more would be kind of the softest one. But click here, avoid that. Do not ever use click here. That's awful. Okay, and then over on the side here, just this is a placeholder for images. We want to actually show visitors the product in action. Like, what does this look like? So for us, we would show a website that we have designed. Makes a lot of sense. Design websites, show me. Show me, don't tell me. Like, what does that look like? What does your business do? What is the result of what your business does? Show that. If you are a gutter cleaning company, then show someone up safely cleaning gutters, maybe having a bit of a smile on their face. So professional photography works wonders here. The next level from that would be professional video, because you can showcase a huge amount of information in a very short amount of time and demonstrate what you do with a very short video. Cool. Now moving down here, this area is for trust signals. Now in this example here, we've got logos from companies that we've worked with, ideally recognizable ones for your target market. If you're an e-commerce store, you may not have logos that you've worked with, but logos of places where you've been featured. Forbes magazine, Women's Weekly, Nine News, whatever that is, recognizable brands that you've been featured in that you partner with, that is kind of like a mini endorsement. Another trust signal that you can add in this area, if you've got Google reviews, if you're a SaaS company, then like G2 software reviews, Clutch reviews, any review system, basically, to show social proof. You want to obviously show 5 stars here to be able to show that, and to be able to show that you do good work and that people think that you do good work, and that it reduces the risk of someone doing business with you. No one wants to be first, so social proof helps to make that clear. Now, this is most bang for buck is within this area above what's called the fold. Back in magazine, and I guess there are some magazines out there still, magazine, newspaper days, there's a fold, there's a literal fold in the paper, and you would see only a certain amount before you would open up and see more. So with the website, we still call this above the fold. This is the screen. Now, it might be the screen on your phone, it might be the screen on your laptop, but that is the area above the fold, the visible part of the website before someone actually has to do something. This is the most important bit. So if you're going to spend time on conversion optimization, this is the key, because if they don't feel compelled, get their attention, or take action at this point, it doesn't really matter what's below. Right? So I won't go into further detail about what is below, because this is the most important bit, but this will be emailed over to you, so you can use this, compare against your existing landing pages, and making sure you're checking the boxes and fulfilling the best practices. Cool. If you do have any questions, feel free to, or additional comments or anything like that, feel free to put them into the chat. I'd love to see them. I'd love to answer them as well, and we will have an FAQ. I mean, a Q&A section at the end of this. All right, I'll just double check if there are any questions. All good? Cool. All right, we're going to jump into the 5 keys. Now, I have touched on quite a few of these as I jumped into the overall anatomy of a landing page. So sell futures, not features. Now, what this means, like coming back to the website messaging workshop that I hosted last month, the example I used for this is Apple. It's one of the best examples of all of this. When the iPod was coming out, there was lots of MP3 players that existed. And the way that other companies like Sony were marketing these MP3 players was the features that were within them, like the storage space. So 100 gigabytes, or it was probably a hell of a lot less than that back then. Let's say 100 gigabytes is what they'd be talking about. Shock-proof casing, headphone port, like their features. Then if we're switching that around to outcomes to futures, the way that Apple changed the narrative here is they said 1,000 songs in your pocket. And that speaks to the language of the target audience and what the outcome is, what the future is. If you buy this, you'll have 1,000 songs in your pocket. Sure, you'll have the 100 gigabytes and you'll have anti-skip or whatever that is. I don't think MP3 is skipped, but the features are not what's important. They may be important to you, and you might be able to list all of those things, but what's in it for your customer? What's important to them? What is the future state that they're trying to get to by purchasing your product? Sell that future. Okay. Trust signals help to take action because they reduce risk. Coming back to the example of the page here, by having these logos, these trust signals, it means that our target audience knows that we've worked with these businesses and they trust us. So it's like an endorsement, as I mentioned before. Having 5-star Google reviews also helps. It's all about reducing the risk. It's so easy, well, maybe for us, but it's so easy to create a website on the internet and talk about how good you are. But there's lots of scams. There's lots of risks out there. How can you reduce the risk of doing business with you? By having trust signals, logos of companies you work with, by having reviews, by having testimonials. That reduces the risk in your customer's eye, in your potential client's eye about getting started and doing business with you. So think from their perspective and help to reduce their risk by adding trust signals in there. Cool. Remove the friction. Actually, I brought something along. Just going to rewind for a sec because I brought something along. Now, prop. So I want to make sure I use this. So selling futures, not features. I just want to touch on this. This actually converted me, not on a website, but in person. So this is Nature's Own. This is supplement. Can we see that there? Yep. So it says mind, memory, and energy. In small letters, it says ginkgo biloba, American ginseng, and B vitamins. I didn't even know that that's where it actually had in it. Supports cognitive function, memory, and energy levels. That's a future I want. I saw mind, memory, and energy, and I said, hell yeah, I want that. And that drew me in to be like, ginkgo biloba, I don't even know what that is. But it could have put ginkgo biloba in the main headline, and it wouldn't have converted me because that's not the future I want. That's the feature. The future I want, improved mind, memory, and energy. Supporting my cognitive function, memory, and energy levels. Fantastic. Yes, please, off the shelf, into my pocket. And even if it's a placebo, I think it's helping. All right, cool. So removing the friction. Basically, everything that I haven't already said is in the way of converting. The story about you, unless it supports trust, unless it supports conversions, it goes in the junk drawer, which means it just goes much further down the website, if at all. Just making it super easy for people to get in touch with you. Now, coming back to the landing page here, the call to action is in the header. It's right there. If we were to scroll down, and we've done a good job of this, we should have another one. Here we go. Have another question. And then there's a form down here. So reducing the friction to get in touch. Don't make it hard for people to buy from you. Don't make it hard for them to take the next action. Don't make them have to read your life story before they engage with you. They want their problem solved. They want to buy your product. They just think it's a bit risky. How can you just remove that friction in the minimum number of steps? Take everything else away that doesn't support the conversion. Clarity in headlines and calls to action. So mentioned before, well, actually, Eric, who's on our Google Ads team, came in yesterday, and we were talking about the importance of clarity when it comes to headlines. We were saying that when there's an ad in Google Ads, there's a headline in Google Ads, and it's got some supporting text, and then clicking on that will go to a web page, and then again, there's a headline and there's supporting text. Some people try to be clever and make them different. It might say, let's say we're running ads for Web Design Melbourne. Our ad might say Web Design Melbourne, and then we might say, don't risk working with another agency. That could be the headline that we put on the website. Maybe that's compelling, but it's not an exact match. And that makes our brains have to work much harder to just think about what this is. Am I in the right place? Like I clicked this ad and it said Web Design Melbourne, and now I'm on this page. Is this Web Design Melbourne? I have to think. And a confused mind says no. Just that creates extra friction. So coming back to the principle here of clear headlines, when in doubt, just make it really, really clear. What is the most basic, simple way to describe what it is that you do, your product or your service, in the most clear, unambiguous terms? So you will increase, if your headlines, if you look at them now on your key website pages, if they are not clear, it's hurting your conversions. If you're trying to be clever, if you've worked with a marketing or branding agency and they have changed your headlines and they're kind of cute, but they're not getting conversions, then go back to clarity. Same with your calls to action. Need to be very, very clear. If the next step is to get a quote, guess what your call to action should be? Get a quote. If your next step is book a call, you guessed it, book a call. Keep it really basic. Keep it really, really clear. Start with that. Again, if you can't master the fundamentals, the best practices, then getting into anything fancy with data scientists, it's not going to be the biggest bang for buck. Start with the basics, master the fundamentals, and you'll get great results. Cool. All right, next one, measuring what matters. So you might be making these changes. You're like, great, Simon, this all makes sense. Let's go for it. You start changing your headlines, but you don't really know what's working. You definitely want to be able to take a before and after snapshot so you can measure performance. Now, one of the easiest ways or most straightforward ways to do this is to use Google Analytics so that you're tracking events. Now, even stepping one step back from that, if you are collecting leads, then making sure that you're putting those leads, the emails that come through your contact form, into a sheet, into a spreadsheet with dates on them. So you can see last week we had 2 leads. This week we made 4 changes to our landing page. Next week we have 5 leads. The week after we have 7. Great, a really easy way to see the conversion rate changes over time. If you just leave them in your email or you're not tracking them in its own dedicated space, it's very hard to measure performance over time. So you want to make it as simple for yourself as possible. So for lead generation, putting it into a simple spreadsheet would be my recommendation there. It's very easy with e-commerce because Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, all those e-commerce platforms, they have really good data behind the scenes in their reports. So very easy to track those. But coming back to Google Analytics, there's a section in Google Analytics called events. So work with your web designer, your SEO, your Google Ads team to make sure that your contact form, conversions from your contact form is tracked as a key event, not just an event, because a key event is a conversion. If someone clicks on your phone number, that's something called a click to call. Track that as a key event, a conversion. And then for e-commerce stores, track the revenue that's going through your store. So those would be the essentials. If you're not doing those, again, don't get too fancy. Just keep it really, really simple and track those things. Now, we have a bit of an advanced reporting and measurement tool. So looking at Google Analytics, you may be familiar with Google Analytics. It can get a little bit complicated. You basically need to have some kind of degree in order to be able to view the reports. So we actually, for our clients who are on growth plans, SEO plans, or Google Ads plans, we have our own reporting tool that we use to simplify and create a multi-channel dashboard. So the dashboard here something that's that we track and report on are rankings, traffic, and conversions. So RTC, because rankings you can't bank rankings, but you can bank conversions. So we want to make sure rankings are a leading indicator for website traffic, and then conversions, fantastic. So we're tracking the key things and we're putting them at the top. Now, this is something you would need to create some kind of custom dashboard with Google Analytics. You'd need to probably hire someone to do that. But this is a tool that we provide to our clients so that they can log in anytime, they can see this, and they get monthly reports. And as you can see, it monitors changes over time. You can change the dates and everything. We also have our sales performance. We've got our CRM pipeline in here. We've got our website performance from an SEO perspective. We've got Google Google Business, and we've got Google Ads in here as well. So multi-channel in one place. That's something you cannot do with Google Analytics by itself. And this just means that for our team, as we're running marketing campaigns for clients, and for our clients, it makes it so much easier to just get a pulse on how their website, their business, their marketing, how it's all performing. Even social media can be added into here too. So as I'm browsing through Google Analytics within this tool, I can have a look and much easier get access to data that's important to me. I can quickly see here, which is faster than in Google Analytics 4. I can see acquisition, organic search. I can quickly access these channels. Like, how is my organic searching? Just organic search itself. Google is still the top, even though we're expecting ChatGPT to be taking over some of this, but that's actually in the referral space, which we'll just have a quick look out of curiosity while we're here. Nope, not very high. 13 sessions. There you go. Interesting. So this as a really quick way and to access key data. Like, you don't need to access all the things all the time from Google Analytics 4. You just want to find those key things. Rankings, traffic, conversions, really important when it comes to SEO campaigns. Cool. Choose one thing that matters for you and dive in. I think I've just heard someone unmute. So if someone is there and they do have a question, feel free to ask. Otherwise, all good. Cool. We'll continue. Measure what matters. Awesome. All right. So a few common mistakes here. When driving traffic, now I know we've been talking about conversions, but getting the right traffic to your website is also important. A common mistake we see is people spending money on ads, whether it's social ads on Facebook and Instagram or Google ads, Bing ads, and whatever future platform will be sending ads, is sending ads to the homepage and thinking that just more traffic, just chucking more traffic, more water into this leaky bucket is going to convert. A quick win is to send the traffic, send your ads to a dedicated landing page. Another common mistake that holds back all of website conversions is slow loading web pages. This is typically the first thing, and one of the quickest wins that we get for our clients is we assess their website loading speed in a tool called gtmetrics.com. We scan for the website performance there. If it's loading in more than 3 seconds, then we move it to our hosting so we can get it loading in less than 3 seconds, ideally less than 2 seconds, because that has an instant impact on conversions and SEO performance. So that is one of the quickest wins. Lots of web hosting companies host overseas. It means the website is being loaded much further away. We host in Australia, so the pages load fast, and that's a better user experience for customers because they're expecting things straight away. The third thing is having unclear headlines and messaging. And I've kind of banged on about this on the webinar today, but clarity beats cleverness. So have a look at your headlines and just make sure they're clear. You don't need to be fancy. You don't need to be cute. Keep it clear, and that will increase your conversions. Cool. So next steps. So you can take all of this and actually action it. Pick one page to optimize. Part of our SEO and ad strategy is helping our clients pick one thing that is profitable, that sells well, and that's in demand. We focus on that one thing. We do want to grow their business overall and all of their services and all of their products, but when you channel the energy into one thing and you see a result, you can apply that same system across other products, across other services over time. So pick one page to optimize first. Assess that page using today's best practices that I talked about. We'll send you the PDF as well, so you can compare your web pages and the tips we've provided against the tips we've provided. So you can use that as a bit of a spot the difference and see what needs to change. Again, focusing on that area above the fold, because that's where you'll have the best bang for buck. Make one change and monitor the results over the next 14 days. What kind of impact has that had? Has that have? Now, you need to be tracking the results, of course. So whether that's in Google Analytics or you're just keeping it nice and simple and tracking in a spreadsheet the leads that are coming through, make sure you're tracking this and monitoring it. Because the impact that this can have for our business, when we have typical lifetime value with a client, well, even over 1 year, is around $50,000 working with a particular client. So if we're able to double our conversions on one of our pages, that has a massive impact on our business. Even if we wanted to change, add more traffic or spend more on ads, if we just improved our conversions, if we doubled our conversion rates, that would be massive. That would also give us more confidence knowing we can spend more money on ads because we know we're going to get a return out of it, rather than just thinking, let's just spend more money on ads and hope we get a return out of it. Let's improve our conversions first and then amplify that with ads. Cool. All right. I'd love to know, before moving on to questions, like, love to know a key takeaway from what we've covered today. So if you could put in the chat one thing that you've taken away, as we've got Ray, Darren, James in here, love to know in the chat what's one thing that's been useful from today. Or Ray, you're more than welcome to unmute, and you can dive in and we can freestyle a couple of things.
Cool. I think one of the things that stood out to me is that we always talk about features rather than benefits, but I kind of like the whole futures over features because that's kind of more anticipating where your ideal client is wanting to go and where they're heading, and that's more leaning into like solutions over problems, and so more positive talk rather than negative talk. So yeah, that kind of stood out for me with many things that I've heard and seen in the marketing world. So that was really cool. And I definitely want to second that, like the speed of your website tremendously matters, especially with today's society of like instant gratification, and seconds matter these days, and probably even milliseconds. And so some people think they've got a fast server, but it still takes 8 seconds to load, and those seconds matter these days. And in the world of AI, it's moving at a very fast pace. So some key takeaways from me.
Yeah, awesome. That's aligns with, or just because I guess that the line, like Ray and I, there's the window that you can see in the background here. Ray is also right here, by the way. We can high five. So there is a window just here, and we were mapping out a bit of a before and after. So with our clients, like, what's the customer journey? Just really breaking it down. And we can't really see it, but it's written on the window there. We've got a frowny face, and in the frowny face, our clients are slow loading website, not getting great conversions, frustrated by their website. So afterwards, they've got a fast loading website, they're confident in their website results, and they enjoy their digital marketing. So that's like the before and after. And the middle is the work that we do. It's the products, it's the services, it's the things that we offer. But that's just a vessel to go from one place to another. So selling the futures is about knowing what that transformation is. Because the gap with that transformation is called value. The gap between the before state of your customers, of your potential clients, and the after state, like how big that gap is value. And your ability to articulate that on your web pages is key to improving conversions. If in doubt, again, keep it clear. Like, being compelling and being an amazing sales copywriter is definitely useful, is one of the master skills of marketing, but clarity beats cleverness every day of the week. Something I wanted to two things I wanted to finish on. One is just deciding which one to go with first. One is this landing page, just another example of a clear web page, but talks about futures. So this business, Astra, well, hopefully I don't need to explain what it is. Um, Actually, I will anyway, because pen testing is something everyone knows. We're deep into cybersecurity with some of our clients, so we are well across what that is. So pen test is a penetration test. So this business on their headline, they could have said, and this would have been totally fine, is web-based penetration testing to secure your business. That would have been clear. Cool, great. But they've gone to another level and they've gone to a desired future state. Find and fix every single vulnerability in your web app. Cool. That is, for their ideal audience, that's something that they want. They have the call to action. This is following our best practices framework that I've mentioned before. Got a clear headline. They've got a clear call to action. Let's secure your web app. It doesn't say learn more. We've got some trust signals, 3,000 pen tests done, 21 million vulnerabilities, and here's the rating on G2. It's actually the tool that I mentioned before. I'm not going to scroll further down because that's enough. This is above the fold. If this isn't getting people's attention, if this doesn't align with the desired end result and is compelling for the target audience, you've already lost them. Cool. So in order to turn this into results again, you do need to take action. But a lot of people can get very confused and they try to do everything at once and they get a bit lost and they don't actually get the result. So what I want to share with you is something called the 5 1s. Now, I first heard this from, I think it was from the lead pages. The founder, his name is Clay Collins. And he posted about this, but I couldn't find his original, so I will attribute this to Taki Moore from the $1 Million Coach, because he explains it in quite a clear way. The 5 1s are a way to improve the way you focus on your marketing. So the idea is that you focus on one of each of these categories. You have one target market. You may want to work with everyone. You may be like, we can help everyone with their websites. Great, but focus on one, because your marketing can be specific, but then your service delivery can be broad. That's okay. But in your messaging, you need to be clear, because that helps to cut through the noise, and it is a very, very noisy world in the online space. So a single target market. Who have you worked with? Who do you love working with? Who pays on time? Who's an ideal fit? Who's your ideal customer persona? One target market, one product. So choose your product, choose your service. Like what is the leading one? For us, website design. We're awesome at it, and that's really all we need to say. We're amazing at it. We get great results, and we love working with clients on this. We have a great team that delivers exceptional websites. So that's our main focus. We do SEO, we do Google ads, we do website copywriting, we do design other things, but our core thing are one product, website design. One conversion tool. Now, this is how do people engage with you? How do they get started? We have various lead magnets. We've got resources. I could talk to people in person. We've got workshops. But what is the one thing? Now, the one thing for us is getting a quote. So our customers will fill in a form, moves to a second form, and then because I'm head of sales, I'll end up having a conversation with them to scope that out, and we'll very likely move into a workshop to be able to scope it out properly. So that is our one conversion tool. One source of traffic. So picking a source of traffic that can scale. So this could be SEO, even though it does take time to build trust. It is a very reliable and relatively future-proof traffic source from various search engines. Google ads, social ads, something that can scale. But you in person, going around and knocking on doors is not as scalable. Speaking at events, not as scalable. Fantastic growth potential, great for authority, but not as scalable. And then really focusing on this for 1 year. Ideally, you get results in far less than that, but you will amplify your results across the board, because doing this doesn't mean that you're not going to do all the other work you're already doing. It just means you're going to really, really nail down, really focus on this one thing for a significant amount of time to drive results. Cool. All right. So in summary, I'm just going to go back to our 5 Ps. Selling futures, not features. This is key on your landing pages. Trust signals, logos, reviews, certifications, industry associations, recognizable brands. This helps build trust and reduce risk. Removing the friction. Take away the story about you that's not really relevant, unless it is relevant to conversions. Remove the friction by just removing everything that doesn't support converting and helping your customers get what they want. Clear headlines. Be clear before you're clever. Same goes for your call to actions. Don't use learn more. Don't use click here. Get a quote. Book a call. Measure what matters. Is it the traffic? Is it the conversions? Is it the leads? Keep it really simple. Just pick one thing and go for it. All right, that is it from me. We will be sending the recap and resources via email. There will also be an offer if you'd like us to review your landing page. We do have an offer at the moment. This isn't something that we have done before as a standalone product, but we will review your landing page for a relatively small fee and give you actionable insights from professionals who work with landing pages pretty much all day, every day. Will give you actionable insights that you can implement in order to improve your conversions. So look out for that in the email. Thanks so much to everyone that's joined and everyone that's watched the replay. I hope you found this valuable. But of course, none of it matters unless you take action. So let's go and look forward to seeing how you improve your website conversions. Thanks so much.